What if I told you this is a Bitcoin mine in East Africa? And what was life like before you had electricity?
Imagine life without electricity. No way to store food, no lights for studying, nor to watch Bitcoin journalists on YouTube, and no power for hospitals or emergencies. For millions across the world, this isn't a hypothetical, it's reality. In remote parts of Africa, the national grid simply doesn't reach. And even where it does, power outages are common. So why aren't energy companies stepping in to solve this? Well, electricity providers won't invest in remote areas if there aren't enough customers to cover costs. It's a business, and building infrastructure is too expensive without guaranteed demand. So how do you create demand when there is none? And what if there was a way to turn unused energy into something valuable, something that could fund these projects? This is where Bitcoin mining comes in. I visited a secluded Bitcoin mine deep in rural Kenya, one that very few people even know exists. It's a place that could radically change the future for energy poverty in Africa. Let me show you.
Can't believe we're walking through the bush on the way to a mining site. I can hear I think either the miners or the energy generators. The sound of the energy generation is competing with the sound of the Bitcoin miners. The Bitcoin miners is like a high pitch, and the energy generation is a...
In this remote community, a river offers not only a lifeline, but a power source. Hydrobox, a company dedicated to bringing power where it's needed, has come up with the following solution in central Kenya. Here's how it works. They divert water into two streams that drive turbines to generate electricity. From the top left of the shot, the river is diverted, running along the canals I just walked past before flowing down the slope, underneath the solar panels and into the turbines to generate electricity. It then rejoins the main body of the river in the bottom left corner. But powering a small village with hydropower alone is costly, and without enough users, connection costs remain high. By placing Bitcoin miners right next to the power source, they ensure a constant buyer for surplus energy, making this system more sustainable and lowering electricity costs for everyone. It's a win-win. Hydrobox gets a steady customer while Gridless and the villagers benefit from cheaper, reliable power. Just when it seems like Gridless is the only company mining in this area, we uncover signs of another player, one quietly experimenting with Bitcoin mining. More on that later.
The next thing is to understand how they're mining Bitcoin here, and that's where we're going now. This is where the Bitcoin are made, and it's very loud and hot. I'm stood in the shade right now behind the Bitcoin mines, and it's hotter in the shade than it is in the sun. The plant generates more electricity than the local community needs, so Gridless comes in and mines Bitcoin with this wonderful 100% green hydroelectricity. But the added benefit of this is that energy prices for the entire region start to drop, and on top of that, electrification is taking place. What does that mean? It means the villages that didn't used to have electricity and would work at candle night in the evenings, they now have electricity. And listen to how Douglas explains it. Has this helped you at all?
Yeah, it is good.
Do you have light in the evenings now?
Ah, we enjoy, we have light, we enjoy screen, we enjoy everything.
What was your village like before then?
While we are cooking, others use some firewood, but now people are changing the lifestyle. Some are using now electricity before. Now we are introducing electricity to use their food for their livestock, you see. That is the two reason why people are enjoying now electricity.
Do you know what Bitcoin is?
What?
Bitcoin?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, yeah. Have you heard of Bitcoin before?
They have it.
Yeah, they have it.
Yeah.
They have Bitcoin here, yeah. Is electricity cheaper now because of this?
Yeah, now people are enjoying.
Now they're enjoying electricity.
Oh, yeah, enjoying electricity.
Amazing.
I grew up in Sudan and Kenya. We didn't have any power or energy or anything, so I remember, pumped our own water. We had candles and paraffin lamps. If you talk to any of these people here in the community that have the tea farms or the cattle or whatever they have here, they'll tell you what the difference in their life it makes, right? That they can charge their phones, that they can turn an LED light bulb to study from at night instead of a paraffin lamp, that the clinic can now have a cold storage for medicines and they couldn't do that before, or that it can even be open at night, that they can irrigate their fields. You know, all these things really matter. I think we sometimes forget that when we live in places that have always on power, internet, things like that. When you first get it, you really realize how much better your life can get with even just a small amount of